Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is Wednesday, the 29th day of May. We are punching the ticket on this month, too. Can you believe it?
Everything just goes faster and faster. It seems
It
like
does.
each month gets faster than the month before it.
And we keep saying that, but today's the day. It's National Snail Day, so everything else seems slow, apparently, but no, time is going fast. It's also Mount Everest Day today, Biscuit Day, end of the Middle Ages Day. So apparently the Middle Ages ended on today's date. Wisconsin State Day, World Otter Day, which is cool. National Flip Flop Day. Yeah, that's cool. How about Put a Pillow on Your Fridge Day?
Okay, that's random.
And National Alligator Day today. So see you later, alligator. All of those things happening on this Wednesday. And I've got a guest joining me. You know him from television shows. You know him from movies. He's a stand-up comic. He's a funny, funny dude. Now he's an author as well. Paul Scheer is my guest today. Joyful Recollections of Trauma is the name of his new book, and I'm excited to chat with him all about it.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at BetterCreditCards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At BetterCreditCards.com.
with BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. This is a good news story, especially if you're a wine drinker, Heidi. A new survey of how much joy do you experience every month, and the results were surprisingly positive. 2,000 American wine drinkers found the average person has 10 extraordinary days every month. How many extraordinary days do you have, Heidi?
Oh my gosh.
How often do you feel joy?
I would say I feel joy daily.
I think so too. I think that you beat all of these people. You're the winner. That adds up to 120 happy days per year, according to this study. When asked what exactly defines a joyful life, the top answer by 77% rather, was just feeling happy. So feeling happy only happens 10 times a month.
That's a little sad.
Followed by being healthy. That only happens 10 times a month. Followed by being positive personal and family relationships. Having those. And then feeling comfortable. The survey, commissioned by, a winemaker, asked how often you feel like you treat themselves. And they found that most people are more likely to treat themselves as something nice on their birthday. Others believe they should treat themselves while they're on vacation. And others say, I treat myself just for having a good day. So I think more people should do that, by the way.
Yeah, I think
Treat
that's
yourself
really
more
sad.
often.
10
That is.
days, 10 good days.
That was a good news story. I thought
Wow.
we could do better. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that Bluetooth technology was named after a 10th century king? King Harald Bluetooth. He
not.
united Denmark and Norway, just like the wireless technology unites computers and cell phones. So they connect, your devices the same way he connected the countries.
That's fascinating.
So that's why they call it that, Bluetooth.
Okay.
There we go. Now you know.
Now you know.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Food Network has a new magical treat in store this holiday season, a Harry Potter-inspired baking competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Harry Potter Wizards of Baking is what it's called. Going to have innovative pastry chefs craft their spellbinding sweet creations. Yeah. So this will be an interesting thing. So that is coming to Food Network this holiday season. And will audiences be sweating to the oldies on Broadway? Fitness pioneer Richard Simmons, who's been reclusive the last decade, is putting together a show for the Great White Way. He posted on Facebook that he and a friend, who is an attorney, is managing a famous artist in music. They're planning an interactive Broadway show about his life. It could create an open space near the stage where theatergoers could actually work out and dance. The 75-year-old said, I have so many ideas and I'm writing them all down. Broadway is in my blood. I'm glad to hear that he's interested in doing a project, because I was sad to hear that he didn't want the movie made about him, but they're doing it anyway. And I think it's going to turn out great, and I think he's going to love it when it's done. I hope.
Turn out awesome.
I really hope. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Stats show that 84% of Americans are not fond of hipsters. 84%. The other 16% are hipsters. I don't think it's quite that, but here's the thing. I got nothing against hipsters. You know, you do your thing. It doesn't bother me. You do whatever you want to do. Another interesting thing, according to a study, U.S. cannabis sales have generated more than $20 billion in tax revenue. So that's something that has been absolutely fascinating to see over the last decade or so. And there are places that's a big honking deal, and there's places where it doesn't exist at all. But it's been I'm not going to say I'm super into it, but I'm super interested that it's happening. It's been fascinating to watch. And Japanese researchers have developed a headband that they say can alleviate the symptoms of depression. In a clinical trial published in the Asian Journal of Psychiatry, the team found that the unit, which creates an ultra-low frequency magnetic field, was effective at improving depressive symptoms among men diagnosed with major depressive disorder.
Well, that's nice.
This device may also offer a safer and non-invasive method for alleviating the low-energy people with depression that often comes along with that. They say, compared to current depression treatments, such as long-term medications, the electroconvulsive therapy, that's what this is called, is superior in terms of convenience and lack of anticipated side effects, end quote. All right, let's dive into this just a little bit more. You had me at headband. You lost me at electroconvulsive therapy. I don't think they should even put that in this story, because doesn't that sound horrible?
Not going to move a lot of product this way.
Going to put this thing on. We're going to shock your brain. And okay, wait. What are we going to do again? So it's literally shocking your brain to make you happy.
Huh.
Just give me a Snickers and I'll be good. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Thank you for listening on a Wednesday. It's time for a comedy call with a very funny Paul Scheer. Now, we know him from TV shows, from movies, from stand-up comedy. Now we know him as an author as well. Joyful Recollections of Trauma. How long did it take to write this book, Paul?
It's been a process. But why it's been a process is because I started writing this book before I even had an idea for a book. I really wanted to see what would come out if I just wrote what was on my mind. And that's how this process started, maybe about 2.5 years ago. And once I had a few stories that I liked, I brought it to an agent, and they read it, and they gave me some notes, and then I brought it over to all these different publishing houses. And then each one of them could read some of my stories, but also look at it and say, oh, it would be great if you went a little bit more like this, or if you did a little bit more like that, or, you focused on this. And I met with Harper, and they really saw the book that I wanted to write, and we created it together. So it's been a long process, but not all of that time was spent writing.
Well, I want to just say congratulations, because I bet there's a bunch of people listening who have the idea in their mind for a book, but they've never taken the time to sit down and actually do something with it. You did. What does it feel like to actually have that done and now be an author?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing, but also, kind of terrifying, because, with a book like mine, there's a part of you that you're sharing with the world that they may not know. And now you don't own that part of your story anymore. It becomes part of everybody's story. You're giving over something to yourself. So that's interesting. It's scary at points, to see family members read it or, friends, and you want to make sure that you've done right by them and that you are, on top of it in the right way. So, it's a really mixed bag of emotions, but I have to say that the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and I'm just blown away by the people that have reached out to tell me their stories as well.
Now, people listening know you as an actor, but they also know you as a stand-up comic, and you've been telling stories from the stage for a long time. How different is it telling stories on a page instead of on a stage?
Yeah, so Joyful Recollections of Trauma is really like this extension of my podcast, How Did This Get Made, where I've talked about these stories from my childhood for such a long time. So I've been used to telling these stories and getting the reaction from my co-hosts, Jason Mantzoukas and June Diane Raphael, who is also my wife, and seeing their looks on their faces. And I kind of feed into that. I'll kind of tell more of a story that they are curious about, or I'll kind of push in different areas. So, you're always responding to where the audience is meeting you in a way. So with a book, you have less of a pressure to go for jokes all the time. You can actually just tell a story and then add jokes in. When you're on stage, you definitely are chasing the laughs. You're keeping that audience's attention. And I think in a book, you do that slightly differently.
And I suppose on stage, there's different pacing as well, because, the story could take a half hour. There's no such thing as a half-hour joke.
No. Well, yeah, because, what you really want to do is kind of embrace the medium, right? You want to get in and get out, and people want to follow you. But the minute you feel them getting bored, and you can always feel that on stage, you have to shift, you shift your focus. The benefit with the book is I could hold your attention longer and tell the story the way that I've wanted to tell it, which is, I think, a very different way. So when I get to do the audiobook, though, it's a perfect merging of both worlds because I'm able to do it in my voice, the way that I hear the book. And as a matter of fact, I've actually even read I read a chapter live. So the audiobook has that, which is kind of different. And also some clips from live shows that supplement the actual chapters.
I love that. Now, people know you from TV shows, from movies, from stand-up comedy. But when you're out in the wild, what's the thing people mention to you the most?
To stereotype people, I have to say I'd have to look at you and then tell you what I think you would recognize me for, because I can now spot it. I know who's going to approach me about Adult Swim stuff like NTSF, FDSUV. I know the League people. I know the Black Monday people. I get a good sense of that, and occasionally it will surprise me. The Veep people are a little bit different, or people will look at me and then say, I know you. Did you date my sister? I'm like, I didn't date your sister. And I go, but I have been on TV. I'm on TV, and they're like, I don't watch TV. And then they have to adamantly defend, like, well, but I didn't date your sister. They will, no, I'm going to figure it out. And then they walk away, and I'm like, all right.
That's awesome.
But I also will take some stolen valor. People might come up to me and say, oh my God, I loved you on The Daily Show. Thinking I'm Rob Corddry, and I say, oh, great, thank you so much.
And then you ask him for a few bucks. Hey, can you spot me a fiver?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The book is out now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At bettercreditcards.com.
bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Elizabethan England, the spoon was so novel and prized that people carried their own spoon. It was a folding spoon that they would bring with them to banquets. So you bring your own spoon.
Kind of reminds me of my dad.
Yeah, her
He's
dad.
got a spoon that he's pretty proud of.
Well, and then he hid it because we had an event at their house, and they always would hide it from him. And he hid it so they could, and then he forgot where he put it. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When you look at the bright sky and you see white dots, you are actually looking at your white blood cells. That's what those white dots are.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Computer mouse speed is measured in Mickeys. That's really funny.
Oh, cute.
So how fast is this one? Oh, it's this many Mickeys. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A wildlife technician who had way too much time on their hands once calculated that a woodchuck, if it could chuck, would chuck 700 pounds of wood Again, if it could, Chuck would.
Oh, that's funny.
So there you go. I don't know how they calculated that, but they did it. Probably getting a grant from the government to do so.
Most likely, yes.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. A survey found that 55% of people take pictures of their food, and this is the most popular food we photograph. What is it?
Dessert.
What kind of dessert? It is a dessert.
Cheesecake.
No, ice cream. Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ice cream. They got to snap a photo quick before it melts.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever taken a photo of me with ice cream.
I don't take photos of
I don't
food.
think I took a photo of food like a week ago because we were having a dinner, but I don't think I even posted them online. I just sent them to some friends of mine. I'm like, look what Heidi has me eating, because it was kind of a weird dinner. And I was like, this is all right, it's good, but whatever. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The Japanese eating legend who has won 6 consecutive Nathan's hot dog eating contests
Crazy, this guy.
is retiring.
Oh.
He literally no longer has the hunger to compete, he says. The 46-year-old Takeru Kobashi made the announcement on a new Netflix documentary, Hack Your Health, The Secrets of Your Gut, after doctors discovered his brain had become repelled by highly processed foods.
Oh.
Yeah, he spent more than 2 decades chowing down on hot dogs and other junk food with an enormous appetite, earning him fame and up to $650,000 a year doing these events. Wow. In recent years, though, his appetite has started to wane. He now doesn't feel the hunger at all for that or for anything. And he once went 3 days without eating a thing because his hunger switch is broken. So, yeah, that's very bizarre. And it's also a little interesting. But it's also weird. That's why it's today's Weird News. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. The world's most beautiful countries. If I say, what is a beautiful country in your mind, do you have one that just popped in your head?
No.
Everybody think of one. Think of a beautiful country that you might think. And I'm going to give you the top 10. Number 10, South Africa. Number 9, Greece. Number 8, Australia. Number 7, Norway. Number 6, United Kingdom. The top 5 now, most beautiful countries according to Rough Guides. That's a planning company. Number 5 is France. Number 4 is Switzerland. Number 3 is Canada. Number 2 is Italy. And praised for its its contrast in scenery and beauty to be found in the people and in the culture. The number 1 most beautiful country is New Zealand. Number 11, by the way, is where the United States lands. Chile is after them. Argentina and Iceland, Croatia, India, Indonesia, Portugal, Slovenia, and Japan. If you want to see the entire list,
This is also subjective.
Yeah.
That's hard to create a list like that.
Yeah, I do have a link to the entire list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of RadioSavings.com. Our quote today is from a guy named Marvin Phillips, and I like this quote, Heidi. The difference between try and triumph is just a little umph. Isn't that great?
That's great.
Yeah. That's I'm trying to think of the other one that's very similar to that. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little bit extra. I just think those are really great quotes. So, Marvin, thanks for that. I love it. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Our story today from Louisville, Kentucky. A viral act of kindness inspires pajama donation for an entire school. I love this. At an elementary school, they celebrated a heartwarming milestone as every student received a new pair of PJs, thanks to the generosity of EJ's PJs.
That's cute.
Yeah, they inspired. It says the event was inspired by a touching story that went viral a month ago. Larry Farish Jr., a compassionate bus driver, and a young student named Levi made the news. Story began on a regular school day. Yeah, we talked about it.
We did.
Farish noticed that Levi looked a little downcast. Upon asking the boy what's troubling him, he says, I don't have pajamas, and we've got pajama day at school.
Aww.
And that's when the bus driver said, you know what? We're going to get you some pajamas. And they went to a store, and he bought him some pajamas.
This was so great. I loved this one.
Yeah, and that act of kindness went viral, and everybody, including us, was talking about it. We were talking about it all over the internet. Fast forward to a few weeks, and the ripple effect of the kindness from that bus driver was on full display when a company called EJ's PJs said, you know what? Let's give pajamas to everybody in that school. 800 miles away from the school is where they're located, but they brought enough pajamas for all 300 students. And Patricia Pogge, who said EJ's PJs, she started the place with a mission to provide pajamas to children in need, praised Farish for embodying the spirit of their cause. So that's exactly what they do at EJ's PJs. Like they do this to help kids in need. And I think that's really a cool thing. I love that. I've got a link to the story if you want to read it without all my stumbles. I apologize. I'm reading ahead, and that's not good. If you'd like to read it, though, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.